Hey guys, it's Lauren from Ferndale Cat Shelter. I'm going to be doing a quick video tutorial of how to bottle feed young kittens. Typically kittens under about 5 to 6 weeks of age do need bottle feeding in some capacity. So this time of year we get a lot of orphans. Mom can't be located, or perhaps she left her kittens behind. And in those cases, if we can't find a mom to place the babies with, we do need volunteers who can bottle feed these kittens. Obviously, it depends on the age of the kitten, how often and how much you're going to need to feed them. I'm going to provide a companion guide for this video in the form of a PDF. And that's going to have a feeding chart in there. It's going to have a feeding schedule based on age. So all of that information will be available to you as well. But to get the video started off, I'm going to introduce some of the supplies that you're going to need in order to feed young kittens. You might notice that you don't see a bottle. It doesn't mean you can't use one. You've probably seen these Pet Ag bottles before. You can find them at PetSmart or Petco. They come with some kind of bulbous looking nipples. The nipples they come with are basically useless for kittens. I have had a lot better luck with the Miracle Nipple. So this is a cool little piece of equipment that was developed by somebody who I think wanted to feed baby squirrels. And the design is a lot closer to what a mama cat's nipple would look like. It's smaller, it's more pointy, it's more tailored to kittens than the nipples that come with these bottles. The reason I didn't include the bottle in my initial setup is because I find that bottles are just kind of difficult to use. I really prefer syringes. So here I've got a 10 milliliter syringe. You can get bigger ones because once kittens get a little bit older, they're going to need more than 10 milliliters in one serving. However, I prefer 10 milliliters. The 20 milliliter syringes can be a little bit tricky for little kittens to suck. So I would rather just use a 10 milliliter syringe and refill it halfway through feeding if necessary. That's just me personally. You might find something else that works for you. Syringes are way easier to feed with because it allows you to kind of help trickle the formula into the kitten's mouth when he or she is still learning to nurse. We see these cool videos online of Kitten Lady, and she just scoops up a little kitten and he just latches right onto the Miracle Nipple and starts suckling away. And that does eventually happen if you stick with it, but the first few times you feed a kitten are going to be challenging and they're not going to suck on their own. So you put a bottle in their mouth like this with no way to, apply pressure or give the formula, they have no idea what to do with it. Whereas with this, you pop the nipple right on top, and when you go to feed the baby, if he or she's not sucking, you can apply the teeniest bit of pressure to kind of just dribble the formula into their mouth and help them get the idea. Say, there's good stuff coming out of here. Eventually, as you'll see in the video I'm going to show you, you won't need to push the plunger down. Once they get used to it, they will suck on their own. When you do apply pressure to the syringe, obviously make sure it's very gentle, as we don't want anybody to choke. The other thing you'll need is, I like to use a small Tupperware container for mixing my formula. This way I can put my powder and my water in and shake it up and make sure it's clump free and ready to use. I have Foster Care brand powder formula. It's not the most popular brand for rescuers. I think KMR, which is Kitten Milk Replacer, is probably more popular, but this was just what was in stock when I purchased, and it's a great brand too. So you do not want to use cow's milk. You do not want to use human baby formula. You have to use something that is made for kittens. Otherwise, they can get really, really upset tummies, and it can even be fatal to them. So FCS will obviously help equip you with all of the right supplies and formula and make sure you're ready to go. So let's get started. So I've got a clean and comfy spot set up to feed my kitten. I've got towels ready. I have my formula ready, which is warm but not hot. I'm going to bring in Marvin, and he's a bottle feeding pro, so he's going to be a good little demonstrator for us. It's very important when you feed a kitten to feed him or her with her stomach down. Kittens are not like human babies where they're used to being fed on their backs. In fact, trying to bottle feed a kitten on his or her back can easily lead to aspiration or choking. It can be really, really dangerous. So even though as humans we want to cradle them like little babies with their tummies facing up, always feed a kitten stomach down. It's really, really important. And you'll see here I'm reloading my syringe because Marvin's a big boy and he needs about 20 milliliters per serving. He is getting a little bit impatient with me here. And I like to have this extra towel here because it gives him something to kind of paw at and need. You know, kittens when they're nursing from their mom would be kneading on mom, pushing on mom. This kind of gives him something to grab onto if he wants to. Now, Marvin's a pro. He is suckling all on his own, so I'm really not even applying pressure to the syringe in this video. Do not be discouraged if your first couple feedings don't look like this. They won't. Marvin's first few feedings didn't look like this either. It really doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for. Kittens need time to acclimate to the nipple. So he only is so good at this because he's been doing it for about a week by the time I filmed this video. And he's gonna finish that whole syringe. Oh, what a good job. Nicely done, Marvin. After your feeding is done, if your kitten is quite young, you're going to have to help him or her go to the bathroom. Kittens, when they're under about 3 weeks of age, again, every kitten's different, but generally under 3 weeks of age, they don't have a lot of control over their ability to go pee and poop. And they're used to having mama lick and stimulate their genitals during grooming, which helps them go potty. Since we don't have a mama kitty for Marvin, I've got to do that for him. And you can see he is very chill, very used to it. And oh, he's going pee, so that's perfect. I'm using a little bit of clean toilet paper and I'm just very, very gently rubbing his genital and anal area. And when he's done, he's gonna be ready to get up and play and feel good. Good job, buddy.